The vulnerabilities of a common protocol like HTTP. HTTP, or Hypertext Transfer Protocol, can be thought of as the language used to communicate between web browsers and servers. This language contains a bunch of GET requests, which gets information for you. As commonly used as this protocol is, it has vulnerabilities. What are vulnerabilities? Basically, a vulnerability would just be something an attacker would use in order to be able to access information on your computer. The most common types of HTTP vulnerability attacks are flooding attacks and directory transversals. What are flooding attacks? On June 3, 1999, the first denial of service attack happened between an Apple Mac machine and an Apache HTTP server. Flooding attacks lead to denial of service attacks and follow this sequence. Lots of HTTP GET requests are sent from a machine to an HTTP server. The server will not be able to process all of these requests, using up all the resources. This will lead to the server being in a denial of service. These attacks are easy to execute because a single machine can to a HTTP server in a very short amount of time. This can also lead to an informational and financial loss. If a Bank of America server were to be denied service, it would end up losing lots of money since no customers or employees would be able to log in. What are directory transversals? Another common type of HTTP vulnerability attack is directory transversals. Directory transversals are mainly used to steal private and important information. In a web server, all the information that is inputted are organized as files. Those files are organized in a directory or hierarchy. For example, a directory would be organized as such. The root or central folder would be Jasper High School. Subfolders would be students, faculty, and principals. Now suppose there is a confidential file A underneath the folder principals. The attacker would try to find all possible paths in order to find the file A. He or she could first try folder students to find file A. If the attacker finds nothing in folder students, he or she would move on to the next folder like faculty and so on until file A is found. These two common HTTP vulnerabilities expose that nothing on the internet is secure. Although this can be used to our advantage to be able to access web servers of enemy countries, this also reflects back to us in how others can hack our servers, destroying online, personal, financial, and service institutions.